Hello, I'm Pastor Carl Johnston with the Atlanta, Ebenezer, and Hopedale United Methodist Churches. Today we continue our devotion on 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 1. It says, "Rid yourself therefore of all malice, and all guile, insincerity, envy, and all slander." Yesterday we talked about malice, ill will. Today our word is guile. The word guile can also be translated deceit, trickery. Now let's remember that the people in 1 Peter's time were beginning to be persecuted by their neighbors mostly, because the Christians were saying those strange things like Jesus is Lord as opposed to Caesar is Lord. They were doing things like worshiping in each other's homes as opposed to going to all the pagan temples that we had in town. So there were social, cultural, political kind of ramifications, and the idea that these people who are so odd, these Christians are so strange, does not surprise us, or should not surprise us, that there are people in that time who are going to try to beguile them, trick them, deceive them. Now, it happens sometimes with little boys when some have been to school and some haven't. I remember hearing about this. There was one little boy who said, "Ooh, look at this nickel. It is so big compared to this dime." The dime and the nickel are different in size. So since the nickel is bigger, that means the dime isn't worth so much. So you go home, gather all of your dimes, bring them to me, and I will trade you all of your dimes for these big nickels. You will have so much money. It's not a good deal. And sometimes we are beguiled, we are tricked, deceived, when we don't know all the information that the other person knows. But that's maybe a little boy kind of thing, but it still happens. We live in a society where the phone rings and there's somebody who is trying to have some sort of scam. You need this, you need that, tell me your social security number and I will get right back to you. Give me your credit card number, those kind of things. And there's all sorts of scams. People want to deceive. You know, you've just won the grand prize. All you have to do is put down $500 to secure it. Can we put that in? Yeah. So there's all sorts of things going on. And so that's what was happening to the people in the time of Peter. But it's still happening today. People are still seeking to deceive and trick and beguile people. But not us. But not those of us who follow Jesus Christ. Because the opposite of trickery is honesty. We want to treat everybody the way we want to be treated. So, if there is a situation, we want them to be treated, we want other people to be treated the same way we want to be treated. One time I bought a car. It was a great little car. Still is a great little car. My daughter's driving it still. But when I bought it, I found out that it had been purchased originally by my own mechanic. And my own mechanic belonged to a denomination that is known for its honesty. And when I heard that Gerald had owned that car first and sold it to his cousin, and his cousin was getting ready to sell it, and I knew that Gerald had taken care of it all those years, I didn't even test drive it. He told me it's a good car. My wife drives it all the time, but now she's getting a different car, and I need to get rid of this. Because the honesty was so strong, and the family name was so strong, I didn't take it for a test drive. And the car's still running, and I could take that person's word to the bank. We as Christian people should be people of our word. We should be people that people can trust, and we would be known as honest people. Yes, get rid of all your guile, but replace it with honesty. and treat people the way you want to be treated. And that's something for you to think about.